Okay, so this week we're getting into spherometer analysis by using Excel, and here I need to show you how to create log graph. Okay, all right, let's take a look at it. So a log plot is nothing but it's just a graph, and if you think about a graph, you have your x-axis and then your y-axis. So it's like this is your x-axis and then that's your y-axis, like that. Okay, and of course they're on the log scale. So that type of scale log, it's gonna help you display your data with a wide range of values, focusing more on the larger values, and then we're gonna compress the lower value. Right now you don't understand what that means, but for now you know that we're gonna use log on x-axis and we're gonna use log on y-axis. Okay, so therefore you definitely need to convert your raw data into log in order for us to be able to see a log graph. So why do we have to use the log scale? Because we want to see the xy relationship. We want to see the power relationship between these variables. We call x a variable and we call y a variable because they vary. Because you have each number going this way and then going that way. Because if you think about a power relationship between your x and y on a log plot, you're gonna have an equation something like your y variable is equal to a constant, which is your a times x to the power b. So this we call it equation, and this we call it the relationship between your x and then your between your x and then your y. So it means that you can calculate y value out of this equation where you use your x value, in it. And of course you see the power there, and it means that they are related to each other, and with power. So you have your x to the power b, and sometimes that's equal to your y value. And of course in the graph you're going to see something like a straight line. So, and that's your log and a power regression or power relationship. So let's take a look at it, how we do it in Excel. Before we go into that, I'll show you little by little. So the very first thing you have to look at it is a general idea of, other log. This is not a straight line, this is a curved line, so therefore it isn't a power relationship. I'm just showing you other log graph. And of course they have many different relationship. So out of all the relationship in your log graph, we're gonna just touch up only one relationship, and which is your power relationship. And this isn't power relationship because it is curved, right? But it's just an example of how a log graph looks like. So generally, how do we convert to a log scale in Excel? You're going to select an axis to change. Axis meaning like this, we have x-axis and then we have y-axis. You're going to click on the axis that you want, meaning like you have number here. So in Excel, we will click on it. I'll show you step by step, just right now, just listen generally what we do. You're going to click on it, and then you're going to convert that to a log scale. So because your data are right in here, so and then of course in Excel we're gonna go into format axis option, and in there you can select your axis to and then convert your axis data into logarithmic scale. Then of course in Excel, you're going to see something like let's just say this is your data series, between your y and then your x. And all you need to do is just click on the data series. If you want to analyze it, right click on it, on that data series. We call this line a data series, and you can add a trend line. Yeah. So when you add the trend line, you can also choose appropriate regression. And this is where I'm saying the regression type. It can be linear, it can be power, so and so. Yeah. For this, I think lab, we're in a power regression. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And of course, you're going to display the equation. And in the trend line option in Excel, there is a show equation on chart. Okay, a little checkbox, and if you select that checkbox, it's going to display your mathematical equation, yeah, of that trend line. So let's take a look at how to create a log graph in Excel, and I'll show you step by step. So first, you need a data set, because without a data set, you can't be able to draw any type of Excel chart, okay, or graph. So first, you gotta create a data set, and that data set is going to show you the relationship between your variable x and y, because that's your data and that's your data, and where your y in our case is y relationship is equal to some constant here times x to the power square. Okay, so this relationship is going to show you a straight line on a log plot. Okay, so let's take a look at how we do that. So now, of course, generally your data set comes from your lab. Yeah, so in the lab you measure, and when you measure, you're gonna get the data set. And right now we're gonna just simulate the data for x and y, and I simulated 1 to 10 for x, and then I square it for y. So 1 square, yeah. So 1 squared is going to give you 1, and then 2 squared is going to give you 4, and then your 3 squared is going to give you 9, and so all the way to 10 to the power 2, which is 10 squared, is going to give you 100. Okay, so this is your simulated data, and I am going to use it to plot in Excel. So first we're going to open Excel, and we're going to enter that data we just simulated, okay, in the table, and then we're going to label the column as x and y. So let's see how to do it in Excel. So here I have created, all right, I can start from the very beginning again for you, yeah, so that way. Okay, so now I have created the data column, yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3 all the way to 10 for x, and then your y is equal to x to the power square, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, yeah. So we have finished this in Excel. First we created the data, which is this data, and we put it into the Excel, and we got this column, 2 column here, yeah. So this is okay. Then the second step, we're going to enter the data in Excel. So I've already shown you, yes, I finished doing that. Then the third step, we're going to create a scatter plot. So what we're going to do, we're going to select the data, both x and y, and then we're going to insert a scatter plot, and we will choose scatter with straight lines. Okay, so here, right, this is your data. Okay, so now I'll show you how to do it. So first you have to select it. So this is how we select the data. Yeah. Then we will go to Insert tab. So Insert tab is File, Home, and then you're gonna see Insert. Yeah. I think I should bring this a little bit down so you can see it. Yeah. So here, yeah, this is your Insert tab. So in that Insert tab, so if you go to Home, there's nothing. You go to Insert, you're gonna see charts right here. See that? So in here, after selecting, you're going to choose scatter with straight lines. I like to put the data, yeah, on it. So I usually put like scatter with straight lines and markers. So it's up to you. Yeah, you can either do this or do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose, okay, with the data. So after inserting that, you're going to get something like this. Okay, so right now, I am just gonna put the name you selected. I'm just creating a log graph, okay, for now. And then of course you have your x and y right here. So we have done up to step 3. So let's go to step 4, and it tells you go ahead and convert the x's to logarithmic scale. And let's see how to do it. So you read it, click on the x-axis to select it, and then right click, and then choose your format axis. Yeah, and then in the axis option, go ahead and choose your logarithmic scale. Yeah, and you're gonna repeat step 1 and 2 for the y-axis. Okay, so let's see how we do that in Excel. Okay, so here this is your x. Yeah, so now you're gonna select it. So if you go in there and select it, you're gonna get format axis option should come up, automatically. So here, let me move this to the side so you can see this. See, format axis option come up automatically. If you don't have it or don't see it in your Excel for some reason, what you can do is after clicking, selecting, you can go to the right click option, and see there's a format axis. So if you go there, it'll take you to here anyway, Alright, and then in axis option, see right here you have a different choice, So we have a horizontal axis, and in that axis option, we're gonna get into all the way down, let me move to this side so you can see it, and we're gonna get into logarithmic scale, So make sure you click on it because the default is base 10. So if you're drawing and your question is asking you, oh, make the base 2 or something, of course you're going to change it. Right now we're doing the base 10, so we don't have to change it, So that's, I just make like x-axis into base 10 logarithmic scale, Once I finish it, the instructions go ahead and do the same thing, to the y-axis. So you right click on it and go to the format, go all the way down, and then we're gonna choose the logarithmic scale. See like how my data series, so this is my data series, now it has changed from the curve, right, into a straight line. See that? So now we have just finished with the step 4. So that's what we did. Then we will go into the step 5, and it's go ahead and add a trend line. So how we're gonna do it is click on the data series, then we're gonna right click and add the trend line. In the trend line option, you're gonna choose a power for this example as a regression type, and you can match that power relationship in the data. Then we're gonna check the display equation on chart to show the equation of the trend line on the plot. So let's see how we do that in Excel. Okay, so this is where we are. So this line is your data series because they are data, So there's your first data, second, third, and they are in series. So therefore, let's go ahead and click on the data series, and then you can right click and you will go all the way to the trend line, So here is your trend line option. See, look at that, So we're in the data series on Y, okay, and we're gonna get down all the way down, to the power. So this is where we're gonna choose, and that is under trend line option. See that? So you can close it like this, and it's gonna show up here, and we will choose the power. Then it's go ahead and do the display equation on the chart. So let's see how we do that. So now we get back into here. We have already chosen the power for the regression, and we're gonna go all the way down, and you're gonna see, look at the display equation on chart. So we are going to go ahead and display, So when you display it, it's going to show up here. Look at that, that's the equation. Sometimes in some of the problem, you might need the r-square value. At that time, we put the r-square value here, Right now, we don't need it for this example. It's asking you only your display equation on chart option. So now we have done that. All right, so let's go back to here, and you can click on the equation and make it a little bit visible in your graph. So now I'm just going to go ahead and name it. I am in my power regression, POWER, and then regression log, and that log is your base 10 graph. Okay, so that's what we just did, step 5, okay? So we add the trend line and then we display the equation on chart. And the last one is you can interpret the log plot. So if you see the straight line and we saw a straight line, yeah, see that? And that confirms a power relationship between x and y, and it is, yeah, see that? So you can see the power relationship x and y, yeah? And this is your x, and then something just accidentally opened my MATLAB. So anyway, so this is your x-axis, and then this is your y-axis. Of course, that's the equation is y is equal to constant, and right now the constant is 1 times x to the power square equation, okay? If you want to make the equation bigger, of course, you can change the font size to a little bit bigger so you can see it, yeah, clearly. So anyway, so now you should have a log plot in Excel with a trend line that represents the relationship, which is your power relationship between x and y. Right now I can change this. This slide is weird. Okay, power, yeah, relationship between x and y. So that's your relationship, your equation is displaying, and your trend line is right there too, yeah, and your data series is right here. You can see your graph, your base is 10 for both x and y axis. If you want to put the x-axis or y-axis, yeah, title, you can just add it here, yeah. So your axis title right here, we call this one as x-axis. Then we can change this one to, then that's your y-axis. Okay, so if you want to label your graph to make it a little bit bigger, then you can do that. Okay. All right. When I scan it, I forgot the x, but it's okay. So anyway, so that's how you plot a log power regression graph. Okay. All right. So your last lab, your lab 8 is Spherometer analysis, and you're going to take the data exactly the same way using your Spherometer system with your dial gauge and then your stem, yeah, and then take the data and then draw the graph, right? And you should be able to do it by now. Right, that's it for today.